Hello, welcome back to Guitar Lessons by E.O.A. In today's lesson, we are going to be looking at fundamental harmonies of scales. Every scale has a fundamental harmonies or chords that can be built from it. Knowing these harmonies is essential to understanding chord relationships. Many songs and progressions are based on them. Now let's take any major scale. Take the root, put the third above it, then put the fifth above the third. You now have the first basic harmony or chord of the major scale. So let's say in the key of G. G for goat. 1, 3, 5. Now the next chord is derived from moving each tone of the first chord up to the next tone in the scale. So you will now have 2, 4, 6. So since we're in the key of G, the second of G is A, and the fourth of G is C, and the sixth of G is E. So we have 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. And the eighth chord will contain the same notes as the first, but an octave higher. Alright, so let's play the fundamental harmonies in the major scale in the key of G. So this is your major scale. Alright, so each fundamental harmony is based on the major scale. So the first one we have 1, 3, 5. Okay, that's G, B, D. Then 2, 4, 6 would be A, C, E. Okay, then the next tone is 3, 5, 7. So the third of G is what? B. Right, so it's B, D, F sharp, and then the next one is 4, 6, 8. The fourth of G is C, and the sixth is E, and the eighth is G. The next we have 5, 7, 9, which is D, F sharp, A. And the next is 6, 8, 10, E, G, B, and then 7, 9, 11, which will be F sharp, A, C, F sharp, A, C, and then back to the root, but an octave higher. And then let me play it backwards. Now the names of the chords are derived by thinking of the bass notes of each chord as the root. Alright? Now when it comes to the fundamental harmonies, the chords have a certain pattern, and this pattern is the same for any major scale, alright? Which is major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished major. Okay? That's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished major. Alright, so I'm going to play those fundamental harmonies again, right? And you will hear how they link to the chords. All right, I'm going to play the tones and you see how each of the notes of the fundamental harmonies make up the chord or chords. So this is in the key of G, like I've mentioned before, right? So 1, 3, 5. Right, so that's major. G, B, D, G major. And then we have A, C, E, that's minor. A minor. And then the next one is 3, 5, 7. B, D, F sharp. That's B minor. Then we have 4, 6, 8. C, E, G. That's C major. Then 5, 7, 9 is D, F sharp, A, D major. And then we have E, G, B, E minor. And then we have F sharp, A, C. That's F sharp diminished. And then back to the root, back to the first chord, but an octave higher, G, B, D. So we have G, B, D. And then the octave higher is alright. Now, when it comes to the tones, right, each of the tones basically goes like this. So the first tones of each chord basically goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the second tone of each tone or chords, all harmonies, goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the third tone of each fundamental harmony goes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so if you look at it properly, each of the tones goes up by one, ascendingly goes up by one tone. So it's not like, you know, vertically it's 1, 4, then 9. No. If you look at each column, it goes up by one. Each fundamental harmony. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So basically, if I want to find the next tone, so if I want to find the fourth tone in the key of G, all I have to do is think of the fourth of G. The fourth of G is C. And then I think of the sixth of G. That's E. And then the eighth is G, which is equivalent to the root. All right. And this is for any major scale. Now, of course, you can play the fundamental harmony like this. You know, you can play it up the neck. Instead of playing it in the scale, you can play it, you know, up the fretboard. So A, C, E, sorry, G, B, D, then A, C, E. Then you can go B, D, F sharp, C, E, G, D, F sharp, A, E, G, B. So that's E, G, B, E, G, B. And then when you get to the 12, you can go on to the next adjacent string. So instead of playing it to the 6th, you can go to the 5th string. So we've just played E, G, B, and then we can play F sharp here, F sharp, A, C, and then you can play it like that. You can, you know, play it up the fretboard. So when I say up the fretboard, that means up in pitch. So even though we're physically going down, but the sound of the guitar is going higher in pitch. So we're moving down, but we're actually going up in pitch. Physically moving down, but sonically going up in pitch. All right? So let's play those fundamental harmonies again. All right? And these harmonies are important for chord progressions for songs. A lot of songs use chord progressions. And these are the harmonies that makes up the chords. So it's very important for you to know these fundamental harmonies of scales so that you will understand where the music is going, where it's flowing, and how it connects with the music. And especially when you're playing with other instrumentalists, other musicians. All right, so let's play it again. All right? And this time I'm going to play it slowly. So I've got G, B, D. Okay, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. Then 2, 4, 6. The second of G is A. The fourth of G is B. And then the 6 is E. Okay, next one, 3, 5, 7. The third of G is B. The fifth of G is D. And the seventh is F sharp. 3, 5, 7. Then 4, 6, 8. The fourth of G is C. The sixth of G is E. And the eighth is G, equivalent to the root, but an octave higher. So, okay, next one, 6, 8, 10. Sorry, 5, 7, 9. Okay, so the fifth of G is D, and the seventh is F sharp, and then the ninth is A, which is a whole tone higher than the root, or a whole tone higher than the eighth tone. D, F sharp, A. And the next one is 6, 8, 10. The sixth of G is E. The eighth of G is 8, one octave higher. And then the 10th tone of G is what? B. Which is 2 whole semitones higher than the 8th tone. And then next we have 7, 9, 11th. The 7th of G is F sharp. And then the 9th of G is A. And then the 11th is C. Now the 11th tone is equivalent to the 4th, right? Because the 4th of G is C. And the 11th of G is C as well. All right? F sharp, A, C, which is F sharp diminished. F sharp, A, C, 1 flat third, flat fifth. All right? 1 flat third, flat fifth. And then the 8th of G is G, and the 10th is B, right? Which is also the 3rd of G. And then the 12th would be D. G, B, D. All right, so let's play all together. Okay? Ready in 3, 2, 1. Now backwards. Whew. Yeah, playing it backwards is quite tricky, to be honest. Because you actually kind of have to, you're playing it backwards and you're thinking it backwards as well. So instead of 1 3 5, it'll be 5 3 1, then 6 4 2. Sorry, it will be 12 10 8, 11 9 7, 10 8 6, 9 7 5, 8 6 4, 7 5 3, 6 4 2, 5 3 1. Alright, thank you guys for watching today's lesson. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Fundamental harmonies of scales. Very, very important for you to learn. Very fundamental. And this is the basis of chord structures, harmonies, melodies, chord melodies, chord progressions. Very, very important for you to learn this. Thank you guys for watching today's lesson. Guitar Lessons by E.O.A. My name is Elizabeth. Stay tuned for more.